What's good in the hood, YouTube? This is Crazy Samurai 71 here, bringing you another video. So today I wanted to continue with the Amiibos and all that. One thing I forgot to note, which was interesting about the box, is that now, which is something that's very unique to this, which I don't remember them having on the Wave 5B Amiibo or anything like that, was the fact that this box not only does it show the Wii Amiibo functionality, but it also shows the 3DS one, which is really interesting. I didn't even notice that. It's very significant. And this is the back of the box, obviously, and the front is this. And as you may have seen in my previous two videos, I've already taken the plastic out, but I haven't taken each of them out yet. I've taken two of them out, which is Duck Hunt and Rob, and all that's missing is Mr. Game & Watch, which is the unique one, which is why I saved him for last. So anyway, that's great. So as you remember, here is Rob and Duck Hunt. If you guys want to, and I would highly suggest this, go back to the previous ones for Rob and Duck Hunt to see their reviews and their unboxings. But today we will be getting into our remaining one, which is Mr. Game & Watch, which he's unique because of the plates on the bottom, as I've mentioned several times now. So, as you can see here, the plate, that's his parachute. That's the number one, which everyone typically remembers of him because that's how he typically gets people, number 9 especially. Then he has the bell. So that should be really, really cool. So let's take these guys out. So let's see how I'm going to work this out. I honestly don't know how. Well, I know how to get him out, I think. Let me take out the insert. Ooh, God, that scared me. Okay. So I'm just going to quickly... Hold on one second, guys. I need to figure out how you remove the backing. I got him out, though. Oh, okay. So for some reason on the back here, when you see it like this, the bottom part from the front, you want to pull it like that, and then now that's separate, and now you have each of the the plates that come separately. Well, not separately, but in the box, but underneath. So parachute, the number 9, and the bell. So let's take these guys out. One side you can get out, the other side is there to obviously make it so that it's secure. So and obviously I'm sure plenty of people are going to try to get multiple so that they can have forms of each of Mr. Game & Watch's looks. So here is the parachute, like so, and here is the bell, which I'm going to show them obviously with the Amiibos, but just to show them for now at least, just to see. And more or less the only difference between them as you can flip them is just the fact that how they're positioned. So in other words, like one's facing left, one's facing right. So, but obviously you can only put them in a certain way typically. So on the so as you can see here, this is the standard posed Mr. Game & Watch, and he looks great. Much flatter piece, as you can see here. He's 2D, obviously representing his origins. And if anyone's curious, Mr. Game & Watch may be wondering, what game does he come from? Not everyone knows this. I'm just saying that. Mr. Game & Watch actually came from a group of portable games from one of the earliest portable consoles, the Game & Watch, and which is why he's called Mr. Game & Watch, because he's a guy and the Game & Watch was his console, and they typically had characters that look like him. So he is Mr. Game & Watch, and you may be wondering, how do you put him in? How do you remove him? So on the bottom here, you may notice that there's this little part here. And you know that he's obviously flat. So what you do is you simply just pull him out. It comes out really easily. And as you can see here, that is what the NFC chip looks like for him. And clearly, if you wanted to, if you practically have a complete NFC chip without the Amiibo, which is interesting. I'm not sure if you actually even need the plates. I guarantee you don't, which is interesting, and kind of unique. One thing I do like is that the light kind of reflects off of it in different ways, so it kind of gives it a different looks, like a lighter look, a darker look. So it's kind of cool. So, and all you have to do is you have to look at how the pins are set up here. It's a little dark, so let me show it like that. So you may see that there's like these pins here on each side. So inside here you can see that there's the smaller one, and then there's the bigger one, and then all you have to do is you have to line them up, and they'll join together, and you have Mr. Game Watch. And obviously the difference is just how he's looking. So is he looking left? Is he looking right? And it's just simply that. But great stuff. So that is the standard plate. I'll put in the top one, which was the parachute. So like that one, all the pins are more or less of the same. So as you can see here, like the pins are, if I were to line them up, interesting. Okay, they're basically, so there's two of them right now, and you see the pins are pretty much identical. So as you can see, I just do the same exact thing. This one actually goes in a lot easier. So obviously put them in one direction, one way. Also, if you haven't noticed, there's no difference really other than which direction he's facing, left or right, and then the middle if you're curious. And it's just, and it's a hard piece of plastic. Very, very nice. So then we have, let's do the number 9 next. So here that is. Looks really, really nice. Same idea. We just put them, take this, and I put that in wrong. There we go. And that one was a little bit harder. It's fine. So there that is. And again, difference is just the direction. As you can see here, he has the number 9 up there. He has the hammer, and really, really just a cool looking figure. I'm sure most people are gonna probably have the number 9 or the standard, just because people remember that. But I don't really know. Personally, a lot of people love to use the attack that's the result that results in this, because it's the most powerful. If you get a 9, typically it's his most powerful attack, and it deals the most damage. And typically you can instantly knock out an opponent pretty easily if you have a number 9 up. So yeah. But obviously, there's also that random aspect of him, because like different numbers result in different results. So like you might get an apple, or you might make your opponent have a flower, or you might end up burning your opponent, or freezing your opponent, or paralyzing your opponent. I mean, there's a lot of different responses. So let's put in our last one here. Obviously, it's the bell. Really, really cool. And nice looking. So simply just line it up, and we got ourselves the bell. So clearly he has the most unique one, just because of the fact that he has removable plates, which definitely makes you wonder, will they do more of these? I don't know what they would do them for. There's not really many games that would make sense to do it for, because there's not many games that have that 2D art style that's very clear that it's 2D, and they couldn't do it in 3D. Or it wouldn't make sense to do in 3D. I mean, technically they could totally do Mr. Game Watch in 3D, but it wouldn't look right. It would, people would argue very, very significantly, because Mr. Game Watch is meant to represent a different era. So it's very, very clever and very, very smart, and it's just great. So yeah, and he just looks so great. So cool. Mr. Game Watch for me has been one of my favorite characters for a long time, ever since Melee came out. I remember thinking like, oh, I have to get Mr. Game & Watch. Back when I was trying to get Mewtwo, I was like, oh my god, once I get Mewtwo, I'll know that I'll eventually get Game & Watch. And a lot of people were up in the air when it came to Mr. Game & Watch. People either really liked him early on, or they didn't really care for him. Personally, for me, I liked him. I liked him in Brawl, I liked him in Melee, and I like him even now. He hasn't really changed too much game to game, but then again, that makes a lot of sense since, there hasn't been a Game & Watch game in years, like several years. So, makes a lot of sense. Like, more than, I'd say 20, at least 30 maybe, I don't know. Something along those lines, but yeah. But anyway, really, really cool figure. So, as we've seen so far, I'm going to put back his standard pose. Hold on one second, guys. Which is kind of the unusual one because it's the one pose that just has him as himself in the games and stuff, and it's just kind of interesting that every other one's meant to represent the game, but that one's really not meant to represent any game. It's interesting. I mean, obviously there are other places they could have done, but I'm glad that they did the ones that they did, just simply because they make the most sense. So anyway, we've seen all three of these guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoyed the other two parts for Duck Hunt and Rob. And please remember to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think of Mr. Game Watch. Tell me if you guys actually got the Retro 3-pack. What you think of it. Are you planning on getting multiple Game & Watches so that you can have each of them posed differently? Tell me all that below. Also tell me, did you guys choose to snag any of those Animal Crossing cards? And were you interested in Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer? I was considering the game, but I don't know if I really want it. Especially since it's not the typical Animal Crossing game, but I love Animal Crossing, so I don't know. But anyway, these three are awesome. More to the collection of Amiibo that I have, which, it just keeps on going on and on. There's not too much more for the Smash stuff. Obviously, we only have left, Mewtwo, Falco, the Mii Fighters, and maybe one or two other, and the other DLC characters, and maybe a few other things here and there. So yeah, I mean, don't know yet, but I hope you guys enjoy this video again, and I'll see you guys next time. So anyway, guys, goodbye.